Manly versus Raiders, Saturday, 7:35 at 4 Pines Park. Oh, Turbo. He's a juicy one. I'm super high on Cooler. He's in my draft team. Garrick has a bit less appeal, but could be a double-ended sword due to the fact that he's going to centre now with that new update in the scoring. Fogarty, and not loving it. Daniel Paseka, welcome back to NRL after his Achilles rupture. Jake Simpkin was in a lot of teams at the very start of Team Picker. He sort of dropped off a bit. Ola Kawatu, very popular from last year. Few question marks regarding to shoulder stability. I would like to wait and see there. You got Joey Walsh on the bench. I'm hearing murmurs that Lukey Brooks could be shifting to hooker, which is crazy, and Walsh goes to into the halves, which could be another cheapie coming in. What are your thoughts on Manly?
Yeah, they didn't look very inspiring in the third trial game at all, did they? Against Souths, Cody Walker, at 36, absolutely tore them up, that they didn't have Tom, they didn't have Alakawatu, and they'll be back. And, you saw what KP did when he came back for Newcastle. They start 3 games just at home at 4 Pines. Tom, he's yet another year removed from his 2021 season. He's not for me. I want to see what happens, really. I'm happy to waste 2 trades to buy him and then trade him out.
Yeah.
Cooler's a great one as well. Adam was really high on him. I've cooled on him a little bit, only because of just the way that, Manly looked. I'm not really sure. Garrick, he's not buyable if he doesn't have the goal kicking. Lehigh, look, I think Lehigh should be a lot better this year. Like he didn't, last year he played okay, but, I know he can play a lot better. And, when you're on that left wing, Tommy's going to find you. And I think if you're looking for a hedge, Hopper Whitey probably is a good one. He's only 500-ish K at the moment. Fogarty, you can't touch him at all. He's going to, just from the stats changes. Paseka, I think he's going to be a bit of a slow burn. I don't know. There's a lot of talk that, because of the bench is, they need middle forwards. They need him to play. He could play 50, 60 minutes. He's only ever averaged in his best season about 50 or so, but, again, stats changes. He's going to be undervalued. Again, I can't begrudge you for getting him. He'll be in my team only because I just need somebody cheap. Jake Simpkin, don't touch him based on what you said with Joey Walsh and Brooks. Ola, he's undervalued once again because of the stats, but you don't know what he's going to do, how he's going to perform with Fogarty. I think that Fogarty's going to pass him a lot more,
definitely,
as opposed to DC, because DC can just kick the ball, that's how Garrett got a lot of, free tries and stuff like that. So there's a few of them, you can jump on them if you want to, again, but for me, I'm probably just going to leave it. And if they do really well, then I'll jump on them after the bye, because they have the bye in round 3, I think.
Early
so
bye,
no rush.
Not ideal. Yeah, I think the Olakawatu one is probably the most enticing, especially like pod-wise, could be a huge point of difference. And I think Chris has just dropped out, and I'll keep winging it as we're going through. Oh, we're back. Okay, we just had a bit of technical difficulties. Standard, always happens to us. But yeah, we're just talking about through the Manly team. I think Olakawatu is one of those guys who could be a really good pod. I think Fogarty's actually going to give him better ball. So pretty high on that. But let's talk about the Raiders. A couple of guys worthy to note. We got KO Weeks, a lot of fullback depth. So I probably wouldn't touch him, but as proven before, he can go gangbusters. Tamale was a cheapie from last year. As you mentioned before, Chris, we feel like he's overpriced now because we got him such a good deal, but he's a gun. He's an absolute gun. Sammy Sasungi, interesting because Timoko is apparently coming back from a bit of a injury, so he's going to Rezzies for this week. Ethan Strange, Dalian 5'8" of the year, 610K, worthy to note. He's been in and out of my team as well, but opted for someone else. Ethan Sanders, EP, goal kicker, monumental upside. I saw the highlights about 5 minutes on YouTube. I'm like, yep, lock him in. Double cheapy halfback. Joey Tarpanay, 701K. He's been in and out of my team, Chris. And again, when we get to my team reveal, you're going to have to convince me maybe not to keep him out. Could be smoky chat there. Hudson Young, 720K-ish. yeah, he's a gun. Overpriced potentially. When you hear you're shouting that. Noah Martin out of nowhere with a couple of boys being in Matty Nicholson, got his shoulder subluxation. He's been not there. Zach Hoskins coming off the bench, so that makes me feel like he's just going to be a middle rotation player with a little bit of edge. That's big. Corey Horsburgh, dual position, we know what he's about. Owen Paddy not making the team with Jayden Brailey. I did see Ricky Stewart quoting that, what's the point of playing Owen Paddy 15 to 30 minutes a game when he can get a full game in resis? It's not going to be good for his development. Love that from the head coach. He's just transparent. That's really, really good. A lot of guys. Dane Laurie's on there as well. He's a super pod when he's gets the availability to start, but definitely not be starting with him. Raiders. Plenty of guys, plenty of options, different looking team with no Fogarty there. Thoughts?
Yeah, I'm just going to go straight into the guys who are SC relevant. KO, probably at the moment, don't touch him. He's very rocks and diamonds. If he comes out and he shows he's a whole lot more consistent, yeah, then jump on him. Tamale, yep, happy for you to want to jump on him. Seb Chris, again, CTW in the centres, you're going to get increase in points. Go for it. Ethan Strange is an interesting one. I think the biggest issue at the moment with Canberra, I don't have any Canberra players in my team, is I think that their draw is very, very hard for the first 6 to 7 weeks, especially with a brand new halfback, a rookie halfback really. But with Ethan Strange, he has all the positives of last year, plus if Ethan Sanders, I know he has the goal kicking, but if he doesn't kick very well, Strange would just randomly just pick up the goal kicking halfway through game 1, really. And all of a sudden, he's a must buy, along with Fletcher Sharp for everybody. So yeah, but it's a case of, he's a little bit like Nathan Cleary. If you go, look, I just want to have someone in 5'8", I don't want to deal with it. I missed out on Fletcher Sharp. Just put him in there. He's going to go up. He's going to go down in price. But guess what? You've got a gun in there every week, but you just got to find funds you got to downgrade other people in other positions. Ethan Sanders, I'm laughing only because I think I've watched the exact same highlights video, and the funniest thing, right, is that it's like same with KP, you literally just watch the highlights video and you're like, yep, I've seen enough, he's in. I've remembered how good he is. I'm pretty sure you could watch any player and you could make the same case for that. In terms of Ethan Sanders, he looks like a fantastic buy now that Dan Atkinson has played, because Dan doesn't look as fantastic. If you had been umming and ahhing about buying one of the two and you jumped on Ethan Sanders, you're sitting absolute smug. You've drunk into cream. He'll score more than 32. If you're thinking about, should I still go double halfback? Maybe, for sure. I mean, you've already got Dan Atkinson. Sure, again, it's the same thing. Ethan Sanders can't do worse, so you may as well get him in. But
and
at the same time,
did nothing and still got 32 points. So
yeah,
that's worthy to note. And I feel like this Raiders team has more strike power throughout the team. Plus, their forward pack should only really get better. I mean, Noah Martin's obviously rated pretty highly by Ricky Stewart, but guys like Matty Nicholson still to come back. So that's only going to do good for a guy like Sanders. And I believe he's going to be with Hudson Young. So you got one of the best second rollers on your hip. That's, pretty tantalising.
Yeah, Joey Tarpany, he had his best SuperCoach season ever. He averaged 71, and and despite playing way less minutes than he's historically played, actually, he also started super hot in the first 9 rounds last year, and he scored a whole bunch of tries and stuff like that, and try assists. So therefore, if you want to, which is weird because he's historically not always started hot, and that's why people have avoided him. So if you want to jump on him, you can. However, I think that last year was probably an outlier. He scored 5 tries, had 5 try assists, and in comparison, the prior 5 seasons, he never scored more than 2 tries. Although in 2018, he randomly scored 6. So I think that it's an outlier season, supplemented by unusual attacking points, really. And it's a better, it's the same. It really is the same, mostly the same forward pack this year. Everybody's just a year older, Simi Sungi's there, they're all better. Morgan Smith can't even make it onto the team anymore. That's how good that forward pack is. So the question is, does Joey have to play as many minutes? And last year it was just frustrating because I got Joey in that I think round 9 or round 10 or something like that. And it was, I was always checking Discord going, when's he back on? When's he back on? I can't see him. And for me, I would much rather Keon. Okay, I think you know who I like more than Joey for significantly cheaper, 40K cheaper.
Yeah.
Who else do we need to talk about?
Hudson Young.
Hudson Young. Hudson, if you like him and he fits your vibe, get him. He's always going to score great. The issue is that with people like Hudson Young, it's very hard to jump on them because you never know when they're going to score. They just score at random. They just score, triple, double, triples, and when he doesn't start scoring and his price starts dropping, then you go, yeah, I'm glad I never got him. And all of a sudden he just scores. So if you like him, get him. The issue is at this beginning of the season, you're just not going to score many tries, although that's actually where he scored most of his tries. Noah Martin, I don't really know. He just came out of blue. He's 250K. As I said earlier in this podcast, if you're going, hey, I don't know, I'm just going to jump on him, and then with a view of downgrading to Ryan Couchman, if he doesn't play well, then 100% because he's 250K, so he's more expensive. So that's also possible. Yeah,
I'm happy with that. And again, Matty Nicholson's there and abouts too, so I definitely will not be touching Noah Martin with a 10-foot pole, even though he's a cheapie there.
Matty Nicholson's interesting because he had shoulder instability, and Brian from NRL Physio was talking about, hey, it looked like a very, very innocuous, like a very minor kind of a contact, and he said if your shoulder can become unstable just like that, mate, you might be in for a long season. And funnily enough, Noah Martin might be, a slow burn and eventually be 400K. The issue is you're just not going to be able to play him, but I guess you'll make some money. But there's so many good cheapers going to make monies anyways. Yeah.
Too many other options, but with job security as well, particularly early on, we don't want to be doing that.